Now we use Greek because the English language is about 800 years old, which means in Bible days, the book of Acts, they were not using English to preach in the book of Acts. They were not using English to preach in the book of Acts, because English was just one of the translations that emerged the last 1,000 years. The original letters were written in the language used in those days for the intellectuals, and that language was the Greek. So many times in translating from one language to another, some meaning might be lost. The King James Version, for example, the grammar of the English of King James of 1611 has been reviewed 15 times. 15 times, which means that in those days, the only word they could have used for the nobles then was understand and understanding. Repentance today was not repentance then, because language has evolved. But the understanding of the word in the Greek is the word metanoia, which means thinking. Metanoia, repentance. It means thinking, a change of thinking. Question: did the disciples just have a change of thinking in this text? Yes. Now, a change of thinking about themselves or a change of thinking about the scriptures? About the scriptures, correct. Now, so always realize what I just said. A change of thinking is not always about you. In repentance, a change of thinking is not always about you. The repentance is about God and his word. The repentance is about God and his word. So the repentance is about God. And question: the thinking is what? Remission of sins. That thinking is the remission of sins. So in other words, people will see God in a way they have not before now. People will see God in a way they have not before now. Look at something in Romans, the 2nd chapter. Now before that, so the repentance in Luke 24:47, is it the repentance of your behavior or the repentance of the scriptures? The repentance of the scriptures. Romans chapter 2, the 1st to the 4th verse. Therefore, thou art inexcusable, O man, whosoever thou art that judgest. For wherein thou judgest another, thou condemnest thyself. For thou that judgest does the same things. Next verse. But we are sure that the judgment of God is according to truth against them which commit such things. Next verse. And thinkest thou this, O man, that judgest them which do such things, and doest the same, that thou shalt escape the judgment of God? Next verse. Oh, I like this. Or despisest thou the riches of his goodness and forbearance and long suffering, not knowing, I like you to take note of that, not knowing that the goodness of God leadeth thee to repentance. Pay attention to that verse 4. Not knowing is the word agnoe. Agnoe. A-G-N-O-E. Agnoe. Now when you put negative on knowledge, that is knowledge you do not know. That is, these people did not know. What did they not know? They did not know that the kindness of God leads to repentance. What is repentance again? A change of thinking about God. So in their knowledge, they had wrong facts about God. In their knowledge, they have wrong facts about God. It's just like sometimes when people try to criticize us, and then you see the kind of mundane things that they put together as arguments. and you're only just full of compassion for them. Now, so they have the wrong facts about God. So God's kindness is for people. God's kindness is for people. That is, not knowing that the goodness of God leads to repentance. That is, the goodness of God leads to a change of thinking. Thinking about yourself or about God. About God, it leads to a change of thinking about God. So the repentance is about God to change how you see God by his kindness. To change how you see God by his kindness. So God's kindness is for people to have a change of thinking about him. God's kindness is for people to have a change of thinking about him. In other words, people have a distorted view about God. A lot of people have a distorted view about God. He mentions his long suffering and his patience. His forbearance is the one that changes his mindset about God. The first thing God asks Adam is, who told you that you were naked? Who told you that you were naked? From the very inception, we found a wrong idea about God. He ran away. Adam ran away. Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten of the tree that I asked you not to eat? Who told you that you are naked? How did you get to that conclusion? So people's wrong impression about God has created many religions in the world today. Yeah. People's wrong view about God is the reason for diverse religions in the world today. Remember in Genesis 3, what the serpent told the woman was, had God said, thou shalt not eat of every tree of the garden? And she said, he said we should not even touch of every tree. Now, what was the statement? Was the statement not to eat? And then he said, you shall not surely die. Wow. That sounds like a word of faith confession. The word of faith movement. Thou shalt not surely die. You think that that's a good confession, but that's a rebellious, sinful statement against God's thoughts, against God's words. You shall not surely die. In other words, one of the strongest weapons of Satan is your ignorance above God. One of the strongest weapons of Satan is your ignorance about God. Hosea 4:6 says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge.